Hey, we're live at the Nick and Joe show.
What's up, Joe?
How you feel about being live?
No difference.
I
No
hate
difference
it.
at all.
I freaking hate
I know
it.
you do. You look so nervous.
I'm-
First live show, man.
Hey,
You guys
Caleb, how
pumped?
you?
We're very, no.
You're sweating a lot.
Same old, same old.
It's 100 degrees in this basement.
Yeah, you
We
guys-
also moved the. We moved the
Location. Of the
location.
podcast, yeah, this is Luke's basement now.
LB's house. Oh yeah. Just first of all, I'm gonna shout out to Caleb and Chase for hooking up with these PSO shirts. Fresh.
Thanks to Ryan, guys.
They're so fresh and clean. That's another other guy's quote there, Caleb.
Yours is coming, Nick. I
Oh,
promise.
thanks, guys. I really don't even need one.
All right, let's hit the plugs real quick.
There you go.
Get this shit out of the way. That's one. Head over to Twitter and Instagram at PSO Sports 1, and you can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, and Apple Pod at Pointless Sports Opinion. Nick, what do we got lined up today?
I know we have a swear jar that's gonna be put into play here soon. I don't know what it's exactly. It's gonna be called.
What
a
is
fudge
it? The
jar.
fudge jar, the puck jar.
Something. No cursing. on
No
the live
cursing.
stuff.
Also, no phones. They said if your phone goes off, that's $1 in the
That's
jar.
alright.
But
Here, I got you what we're leading off with, dude.
let's go. What
Here's,
happened?
The best thing imaginable happened for the St. Louis Cardinals. Mike Matheny was fired. I'm gonna light one up for him, as in a candle. Luke Baker.
Luke, toss me a beer. We're gonna pour one out for our homie.
I was actually gonna think about that, but I don't know if it's candle will light. But
Did you get
yeah,
that? That's
sort
a
of.
nice. Is that a nice?
It's a scented
Is
candle.
that a
so-
New York candle?
I don't know what it is, man. It's a $10 candle from Target. So we'll keep this lit for old Mike. R.I.P. Finally,
Gone but never forgotten.
it had to happen, Joe.
Oh, what had to happen? Why? Explain to me the Mike Matheny mischief.
All right, so the man should have never been hired back in 2012.
Correct.
He had so much success because he was given the
Hold on,
keys.
yeah, I was just gonna add, why he went to was it four straight playoffs?
appearances.
He went to a World Series. Why? He had a
He
100 win
had-
season.
He had a great vehicle to drive with those players. He had the Carlos Beltran, Matt Holliday, Yadi Molina, Adam Wainwright. I mean Shelby Miller.
I don't disagree.
On and on and on. He
I
was
don't
good.
disagree with you. Like a lot of it was I look at it more as the guys, the coaches in the locker room too. It's not just when you hire Mike Matheny. There was a lot of coaches that were Tony La Russa's coaches in there
Sure.
too, like hitting coach, first base. This is the guys that were in there
We're all
in the
Tony's
locker room.
guys.
Those all helped to play in a ball club in the locker room, and I think eventually over the years it started to become more of not Tony's guys or John Mazalek's guys, but they become Mike's guys, and it's
Mike had a lot of guys.
and over the last 3 seasons we've seen decline.
Very much so.
I mean, after he had a 101 season in there, which we got to give him credit for that. It was a 2000.
2015, and then he hasn't been to the playoffs since. So that was
No, that's not true.
no,
He was in-
16, 17, and
Okay, yeah. Oh, my bad.
there you go.
Shit.
Along with him being fired, Billy Miller and John Mabry, the assistant hitting coach, and the hitting coach, been fired, replaced by Mark Budaski. I think his name is Buda. He's a minor league instructor. People love him down in the minor leagues. So I don't know the other guy who got hired, but I know people are excited that he's.
I
up
think
there.
it's just to ride out the season, and they'll figure out in
Oh,
the
yeah.
off season. But we'll give if any is keeping track of the Nick and Joe score. Nick's gonna get a point here. He definitely called the Mike Matheny firing before the All-Star game. If you go back to one of our later episodes.
I think if they continue playing the way they do, I mean, 5 games of I-500, maybe they go on a hot streak, maybe saves his job, but the way it's trending to me, it looks like I think he'll be gone before the All-Star break. Hopefully.
Ooh, that's
Fingers crossed.
hopefully that
Sorry
means the
about-
Cardinals are doing bad.
He definitely said Mike Matheny will be gone before the All-Star game, and I got to give you credit. I didn't see this. We were 7-8 games over 500, and then just
Yeah.
chaos. How do we lose 3 of 5 to freaking Chicago and Cincinnati?
Yeah, 3 of 5 of those teams.
That's awful, and
That's the season so far. You take 3 wins and out of 4 games, and you lose 4 in a row. So it's just been like that all year.
we'll get back to the Matheny thing in a minute. But where do you have us go in the second half? I want to what are your expectations knowing that Matheny's gone, and it's the clubhouse it's a Yahtzee game. You just shook it up.
My glass half full is make a run at the second wild card, but realistically,
I hate that. I
probably
hate that.
probably gonna middle around 500, maybe finish up the season on a good note with 83, 85 wins. Not make the playoffs.
I'm never a guy that likes to chase for the last. It's in the baseball you can sneak into the last wild card because the Cardinals have done it before. They've snuck into the playoffs a year. The year they won in 11, they snuck in the playoffs that year.
Yeah.
But
Out of nowhere.
I don't like settling for mediocrity. It's never been the Cardinals' way to we're fighting for that last wild card spot, and if we don't, we'll try again next year. I don't like that. I like the feeling of, hey, we got rid of the coach, And maybe this is a change. Maybe hey, the coach was the problem, and like we saw Dexter Fowler. What did he do? The first at bat, home run.
I think Matheny had a. You remember the Blues a couple years ago with Ken Hitchcock?
Yeah.
And how players were like, dude, we're done with you, Hitch. Like his message was lost. It's the same thing with Matheny.
Matheny lost the clubhouse.
Yeah.
I think it happened last year.
I think so.
I think this year, when they thought maybe we can fight around it, and it never happened.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
And I feel like it unwound, and now we're seeing the outcome.
You need a clubhouse around you as a coach, and Matheny
so maybe
didn't have
if
it.
this is the shakeup, ride it out first. We'll see the first. We have a tough schedule coming right out of the All-Star.
8 of 11 against the Cubs.
Let's see how we do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we just throw because we're 4 games out of a wild card, 7.5 back in the division, which isn't great, but 4 games out of a wild
playing
card.
terrible. They got swept in a 5-game series against the Pirates.
They don't have pitching.
They don't have the best pitching. You're right.
I liked them in the early, but I always was ahead with the Cubs because I thought the Cubs had better pitching. But right now, I don't favor any of the NL teams, any Central teams over any of the teams in the NFL because the pitching is not as good as the other teams like Philly and the Dodgers. They have better pitching.
Yeah, you're right. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
we'll get to that later.
Get to that. Matheny.
He goes down. I had a nice little record. He was like
592 and 474.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
A .555 winning.
It's a great winning percentage.
It's not bad. It's not bad. He, like you said, first 4 years, playoffs, World Series, then just slowly
worse and worse and worse. Yeah.
Just edging the brakes, and then
he never learned. He never learned how to really be an MLB manager. And I think that's what did him in.
I think he was too the old school way, and that's not. I don't think that's how.
He did have that old school mentality, which I don't mind. But
I don't mind it, but you got to play
your guys. He didn't know what to do.
Like,
he really didn't know what to do. At the end of the day,
he was brought into a situation where he shouldn't have been brought into,
Agreed.
and they threw him in, and at first
looked great. Everyone loved him.
I mean, when you
hated him so much, you get into Twitter wars with people. But
I
at least you stuck to your guns.
Even when he was making the playoffs, I said, "How is this guy still like?" He was making moves in the playoffs, like with the whole Shelby Miller and Michael Walker things. You guys remember those?
Yeah. Oh, that's another. That's another $1 to the jar. Joe, come on, man.
Dude,
get yourself.
Mister, my phone's always on silent.
The hose.
No.
The hose.
You forgot to turn off your hose? Nope.
Yeah, I got the hose. The
No
hose.
I bet
No
your
hose.
dad's upset.
My
No
dad
hose.
wanted me to turn off the hose.
Okay, let's keep going with this. Where we at?
Yeah, like I don't know. I lost my track. Cases left.
Matheny's done for. We're all happy.
Yeah.
Move on.
Do you blame Mazalak in a way for not bringing in the
front
correct
office.
guys?
I think.
How short do you think his leash is right now?
I think if the next year and a half, 2 years don't go the way the Cardinals plan it, I think he might be gone too.
He's been here since 2008.
I think it's something like that.
And, I mean, he really hasn't done anything wrong to this point. I mean, the Fowler contract, you can look at it, but other contracts, he's been the guy that's usually stayed away from the big contracts, like the Pujols contract. Remember, they were looking at Chris Davis. They stayed away from that.
That would have been a disaster.
We kind of got lucky with the David Price contract, too.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, he hasn't done anything wrong, but he hasn't. Could you say he's really putting us in the best position to win
No.
over the? But
I think the biggest mistakes he makes is those young guys that come up. He gives them those bigger contracts,
I don't mind it
like
though.
the Alan
'cause-
Craigs, the Piscottis, the Colton Longs.
Yeah, but even at the end of the day, when you're signing those contracts, none of those contracts hurt you. Because the Colton Wong contract, what does he make it? $4 million a year.
No,
That's
his contract
nothing
was
to an
great.
MLB franchise,
No.
which is great.
And
If
then-
he pans out, he pans out.
Then you traded Piscotti
His contract wasn't even bad. It was
like
like
$6-7 million a year,
It's
and then you trade Alan Craig, so he's been able to get.
But
really-
he hasn't been. Look at the Padres. They're going after guys like Eric Hosmer, who's 30 years old. What did they give him? 8 years at like $26 million a year.
a lot.
We're not
Not that
making
much.
those. It was a lot. He
He got
got
like
it.
160. He got like $20 million a year. For,
We're not making those.
years.
And how's that working out for them?
it's the first year. It's the first half of the first year.
I'm happy we're not making the stupid, the ones that all the fans want. Like,
gotcha.
oh, this guy hit 40 home runs last year. Like Chris Davis, he was the best hitter in baseball for a year.
He's not the best
He's
hitter.
the worst hitter in baseball right
He's
now. The
the-
worst
he-
statistical hitter in baseball is Chris Davis.
That is true. He is.
These are
awful.
facts, and he's making.
Like $20 million a year.
Do you think Baltimore would be like, we could have passed on him, been bad, got some more picks? They could have paid Machado.
Could have paid Machado.
The
Your
bank
boy.
this year, and
Your
Machado
boy.
is 26.
The Orioles are awful.
Like, So in a way, like, I think when it comes down to Mo's he's all right with me. He's not on my hot seat yet. The Mike Matheny hiring, I didn't like it. When he was making the playoffs, I was still like,
Yeah, not a fan. I know. I
I've
remember.
always just I hate Mike Matheny, and me
So-
and my mom got into it about it too.
This whole thing with Matheny, I mean,
She's like, "Oh, you happy now?" And I'm like,
it's
"I'm
Matheny's
so
fault.
happy."
It's the players' fault. They should feel responsible, and it is the front office's fault. It's not all on
At the
Matheny.
end of the day, Matheny takes the hit, but
Yeah.
you could say he wasn't given the best circumstances.
No,
I
it
mean,
wasn't given the best team.
but
Wasn't given, and then the
but
players
when,
did not
when
play
the
up to their
clubhouse comes down
expectations.
on you like that, like the way
Yeah.
the players were. I mean,
It's his fault.
yeah,
You're
little
right.
bit. It's a half and half, but at the end of the day, Mike is gone. We're looking forward. I'm optimistic about the rest of the season.
How you like Mike Schilt?
I don't know anything about him to be 100%.
He wears his hat really low on his head. That's all I know. And he didn't play any professional baseball.
He's also got a 1,000% winning percent.
He
in
does,
the
that is
MLB
true.
right now. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, Mike Matheny, this one's for you, man. The Paradise Flower.
Get out of here, Mike Matheny. Get out of here.
What else about the Cardinals? They're bad. Not great. 48 and 46.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it. Same old,
Honestly, nothing-
same crap, different day.
Nothing's gonna fix the Cardinals and what they are. They're still.
Manny's still out there, and his price
It's-
drops every single day.
You're right, but that's not happening.
I'm gonna try to trade for him. I'm gonna start my own team. Like, he's getting down there. I think I could throw Baltimore.
A GoFundMe page, real quick.
We'll
Get you-
We'll take Manny Machado for nothing. We'll just eat Chris Davis's contract.
Okay.
No, that's a terrible.
That's. Well, I guess. Who's gonna manage next year? You
For the Cardinals?
You got any ideas?
Who are the?
I know people love Joe Girardi.
Who was the other guy?
Stubby Klepp, a minor league
No,
coach.
there was a hot name. I had it written down and I can't.
I know Jose Oquendo's probably going to be thought
See,
about.
that's what I find weird. If Jose Oquendo was the guy, why wouldn't they just bring him in now?
I don't think he wants to do it anymore. I don't think he
He's
was
like,
out of, he
he's
was out
like,
of baseball for 2
he
years.
said, "Shit, Mike lost with these guys. These guys aren't good either." He's just like, "I'm out."
I think he didn't want to do it anymore. I think if you would have asked him 5 years ago, or when they had the vacancy, that he would have said yes.
Who was the other? There was one other guy that wasn't. It wasn't. I can't think of his name. This is gonna drive me crazy. I'll look it up later after the pod. But I'll get back to you on that one. I don't really know who's out there other than they said McGuire.
I
think
could
that
see
would be
McGuire.
cool.
I think that'd be good.
I like McGuire. He was great. Their offense was on fire when he was the hitting
He's been a
coach.
coach for the past 5+ years. He's been a hitting coach. He's been a bench coach. He knows what
looks-
he's doing.
Looks like a real clubhouse guy too. Like he
does.
could get along with the players.
And people are probably afraid of him. He's still pretty big.
But as another way, as I look at that, kind of it's the same thing as the Matheny hire too. Though it was just another player that played for the Cardinals, and maybe
I think he's probably got a different voice than Matheny, a different message to spread to those guys.
Do you have a question?
I do.
Yeah.
Somebody's talking about Beltran. You guys heard Carlos Beltran?
I did hear Carlos Beltran, yeah.
Thank you.
No coaching experience.
I also
But-
heard the Bellatron, and I don't think that would be a good fit.
I think it could work. He was getting the Yankees were really thinking about him over the offseason. Took Aaron Boone instead.
Has he been in? I mean, has he been a clubhouse guy yet? I want to see a guy like mix in with the clubhouse before he just goes straight.
Carlos, he was a great veteran to have on that
He
that
was.
Astros
Yeah,
team.
he did
He
help.
knows what he's doing. He knows all the baseball knowledge in the world.
I don't hate it.
He can speak English and Spanish. That's great. Trust
That's
me, it's a
huge,
good
yeah,
thing to
yeah.
have in your clubhouse.
He probably speaks more than that too. I bet he
He's
speaks.
a smart guy. I
yeah.
bet you're right. But I would like Beltran. The only thing is he doesn't have that experience. and
They should
that's-
just get Beltran and Ichiro to come down and just coach the Cardinals. That'd be cool.
Now
Oh
you're-
shit!
now you're
Now
talking.
I'm talking.
Count me in.
That's what I figured I'd get you going over there. Would that be weird if he like player managed? He played for the
I'd
played
be
for the
loving
Mariners next season in Japan, and then came over and coached the Cardinals for the rest of the year.
If we're talking about player manager, I put Yachty. I throw his hat in the ring right there, man.
No, Yachty would just start cussing out everyone, and he's like, "This
That's
is
all right.
bullshit."
They like him.
No, that'd be. What if they told Yachty like, "Hey, we'll just pay you your salary." They bring up Carson Kelly. Like Chase loves Carson Kelly. Like they just bring up Carson Kelly and tell Yachty to take a seat on the bench and coach the team. Where's Benji at? Is Benji
I heard
available?
Benji also could be considered
Oh
too.
God, no!
Yeah.
Get out of here! All
So
right,
there's a lot of factors going in with that.
we'll see. It should be a fun off season for the Cardinals as always. Let's move in. We're gonna pick our favorites for the NL and AL going in after the All-Star break. Well, who you got in the NL?
The NLCS, we're going to talk about who's the two best teams for the most
Who are
part.
your two best teams? I want to hear yours.
The Cubs and the Dodgers. That's going to be
the Dodgers.
the Dodgers. Dodgers are on fire. They started off like
Is
crap.
Kershaw back?
Kershaw's back. He's
Is
had
he?
3 straight quality starts.
Ooh, watch out.
As long as he stays healthy and the Dodgers keep on hitting, man, they're good. They're gonna World Series or bust.
I always pick the teams with the best pitching. That's how I was always taught. Baseball is pitching. I like the Dodgers. Kershaw's back. They got Sterling, who's actually going to the All-Star game.
Stripling, but yeah. Ross Stripling.
Might be. Ross Strickling. He's actually.
Stripling, like a chicken
We're not
strip.
gonna go over this. His name's Ross.
Ross.
Pivot.
Thank you.
Ross is going to the All-Star game in place of Miles Mikolas.
Michaelis? Which one is it, Chase?
Who cares?
Michaelis.
He will not be there. His wife is having a baby. So congrats to him.
I hope everything goes
but
well.
Ross, he's been great. They also got Alex Wood.
Alex Wood has been good, and then
So pitching's good, and their
Maeda.
lineup's finally coming
Their
around.
bullpen's really good.
Bellinger's coming around.
finally
Kemp's 23 out there again.
Kemp is he's an MVP frontrunner right now. Insane.
And then I also have the Phillies over Chicago right now, just because their pitching is a lot better.
Why
than
do you
Chicago.
like Noah and Arrieta
Okay.
and Pavetta? Is he
Yeah.
still?
Yeah, he's on the DL right now. Though.
Velasquez is on that team.
Okay, but how many pitchers do you throw in the playoffs?
3.
Who's the Cubs' second pitcher right now?
Not Tyler Chapman.
You're right, Ass. That's correct. Ass was the correct answer.
Quintana and Lester are good. That's all you need. Who else?
Quintana's not good.
He's got a sub-4 ERA. He's played a lot better.
No,
as of late.
he's been trash.
No.
And that Quintana gets ripped in the postseason. Bet.
Yu Darvish could be back too by the postseason.
Oh, Darvish. His postseason resume is fantastic.
I mean, the World
why we're
Series-
on it.
World Series last year, what? That was terrible.
Oh my God! What did he lose 2 games?
2 games. Ha! I heard Luke laugh over there somewhere.
Can I get my point back now? You went up earlier in the show. I told you that Boston was better than New York like a month ago, like way better.
What are they better by him right now?
They're
Three.
killing them. They're up like 4 games in the. Their pitching is so much better. Who's New York's second pitcher?
Tanaka. I don't know.
Tanaka, CC.
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 Sonny Gray's steaming garbage right now.
Yeah, he is. Oh my
Like
God.
you would have picked him up yesterday morning on your, or today. this
Yeah, I would have
morning,
picked him up
did
this
you?
morning on my
your
trash route.
route.
No, I didn't. We don't take that kind of garbage.
Gotcha.
Well, for $20, we'll take anything. But no, Boston's pitching is good.
Really good. You're right.
I think they're the best.
Chris Sale's a monster.
If I'm betting on a World Series team, I'm betting on Boston. 5-1 right now.
Man, it's hard to tell who's going to be.
Houston's 4.5 to 1.
What's your ALCS is Houston against
Houston
Boston?
and Boston.
And
Put 'em
mine
in
too.
there.
Those are the
Plug
2
'em.
best teams.
It's not, you can talk about this Yankee lineup all day long. If they got Severino and Ass coming out after that, they're gonna win 1 game. They're gonna lose 2. Severino's gonna come back. They're gonna win the next game. They're gonna lose that one, and guess what? They're gonna be out. And their bullpen's good, but
Their
the
bullpen is
starting
good.
pitching is not gonna get it done. If they now, hold up, still got the trade deadline.
Still got the trade deadline.
There's still people out there.
Lots of people.
Miles
out
Mikolas could be pitching for the Yankees in a month.
Not happening.
I think it very well could happen.
He's not getting traded.
Ooh, can we place a wager on the Nick and Joe show?
Of course.
What are we betting?
What do you want?
Tramp stamp.
Not a tramp stamp.
Ass tats.
Not ass tats.
Life or death. No, we'll figure it out. We'll come live to your next show.
We could do something like what these 2 idiots did.
Kind of something. What are we doing with those 2 guys?
They hit ping
What
pong
kind of
balls at
video?
each other, so
Oh, you don't want me to hit a ping pong
No,
ball.
I don't.
You know I got steam.
that would hurt.
I used to play professional ping pong, for those of you who didn't know.
He's lying.
I
But
was-
He's a good ping
I
pong
was a
player.
junior amateur professional.
He's probably the best in this room, which
It's
isn't
not
saying,
even close.
Not saying much though.
Have you ever seen Balls of Fury? I'm like that guy. I don't know his name. The blind guy. All right, moving forward. So you got
Who's
LA,
winning-
Chicago.
Who's winning the World Series? We'll just go that.
Ooh.
Right now.
World Series matchup. You heard it here first. Lock it in. Philly, Boston. Boston wins.
Philly, Boston. I'll go a repeat of last year. Houston,
Houston and LA. All right.
See it.
Going with the homer picks, clearly.
Easy.
All right.
We can revisit this subject after the trade deadline
Well,
because it'll be different.
yeah, you're right.
The Yankees and the Red Sox will probably be bouncing back and
Well,
forth.
the Yankees will trade. The Yankees, they're
They're
in
the
it to win it
Yankees.
every year. So they're going to make a trade.
Yeah.
And if they go out there and get a number 1 pitcher, I don't know who's available. Archer, maybe. So,
Archer or anyone from the Mets.
DeGrom.
If you can get DeGrom, that
If
is
they get DeGrom,
filthy.
pencil him in. So We'll see. Today is Monday. I don't know if we're live on Twitch right now, but they're also going to be posting this. We don't know what day. But tonight is the Home Run Derby, Nick. Are you excited?
Of course I'm excited. I'm excited for Chris Berman and to hear.
Are we going to watch the game together?
Back. I don't know. Maybe.
Was that a chicken or a rooster?
Whatever he sounds like, that's what he sounds like. Yeah. We're watching the game here tonight, right here on this TV.
LB.
That TV.
We're all piling on LB's bed to watch the game.
Local house.
Local house.
Local house.
4 dudes, 1 bed.
5. Let's make it 5.
I already actually am a name in one of those videos where you have to come up with something.
I'm actually really interested in who you bet on. So can we get into that?
Oh yeah, Joe made a bet.
I make bets on every.
You tell us who you bet on, and I want to see if you think they're good bets or not.
For 20 to 1, yeah, they're good bets.
20 to 1.
Oh.
There's for those of you who don't know.
I'm probably gonna bet on this because I'm a degenerate, and there's nothing to gamble on right now. So
for those of you who don't know, this is the only 3 days in the world where there are no sports taking place.
Joe texted me this morning. He was telling me all the people he bet on, and I was like, I cannot bet on the All-Star game. I just can't do it.
You can, though.
For those of you who don't know, I think the American League team is so much better than the National League team. And I also texted Caleb some stats about the NL. I had to look them up on my phone.
They're 17-3-1.
17-3-1 in the last 20. The American League has won the 17.
An 8-game or 9-game winning streak.
No, the last time the National League won, they won 3 in a row. It was 10, 11, and 12. And everything else has been all American League. And then there was one tie back in there, like in
2002.
Yeah, that was it. 7-7. But so I bet like $50 because they're minus 130. So you have to bet 130 to win 100, which I mean isn't the greatest, but I just think they're so much better.
I'll give you a rundown of the lineups. The NL's got Javi Baez, Nolan Arenado, Goldschmidt hitting 3rd, Freddie Freeman, Matt Kemp hitting 5th, Harper 6th, Nick Markakis 7th, Brandon Crawford 8th.
Who's the best player on
Wellington
the team?
Contreras, the catcher Willson. Yeah, he's got a weird name.
They spelled JT real.
Wilson.
They spelled JT real Muto wrong.
My bad, Wilson. And then the AL's got Mookie Betts, Altuve, Trout, JD Martinez, Jose Ramirez, Aaron Judge hitting 6th, Machado 7th, and then Jose Abreu, Salvi Perez. He got the start.
What are the starting pitchers?
We got Max Scherzer for the NL and Chris Sale for the AL.
The only thing that scares me about betting on the NL or AL is that the NL's pitching Scherzer, DeGrom. That's tough.
It's a good.
Kluber's been getting banged up too in his last few starts. If he comes out there, that could scare me a little bit. But I just think the lineup in the American League is just star-studded as crap.
It is very.
Let's get to the Home Run Derby. We'll line it up.
What's your bet? Let's hear your bet.
I bet $10 that the finals would be Freddie Freeman and Alex Bregman. Bregman is one of my favorite players in the MLB.
He is one of the up-and-coming best players in the MLB, too.
Freeman rakes.
Freeman also one of the best players in the MLB.
There's 8 players in it, and the bet if these two end up in the finals, I get 20 to 1 on my money. So $10 is $200.
So I can see.
I think that's a good bet.
So you got your little chart breakdown.
I got it broken down.
So you think Freeman's going to beat Harper?
I also bet on Harper to win it, to hover it a little bit. Because Harper, I think, is obviously the best.
I think Harper's my favorite.
Harper's the favorite. He's the favorite. He was like 2 to 1 to win.
I'll give Reese Hoskins the other one. I mean, I like him over there.
I don't think he's going to stand a chance against Aguilar.
You don't think so?
No, no.
They're both some big boys. Aguilar is a big boy.
I think Schwarber's going to be the first player to strike out during the Home Run Derby.
I could see it.
So we got Harper versus Freeman in the first round.
I'll take Harper there.
You got Harper. I'm taking the upset. I know he's home. Everyone wants him to win. I think he's going to have he's going to have the hype.
Going to have a lot of energy. He's going to hit a lot of home runs.
I think it's going to be Freeman. I think a lot of energy is going to wear him out.
I do too.
So that's Freeman. I'll take Freeman on that one. And then who you got over Max Muncy
and Javi Baez?
Yeah.
I'll take Javi Baez.
I'll take Javi too.
Yeah, you got to.
Aguilar and Hops?
I'll take Hoskins.
I'll take Aguilar.
Okay, I like that. Maybe we can bet on this too.
Ooh.
Make some good little bets.
Caleb, can I hear it?
So yeah, I got the odds pulled up.
Yeah.
Harper is the favorite at plus 140.
Yeah, that's not great.
I don't know. That's pretty good for a favorite. And the Home Run Derby?
140? How often do the favorites win?
Dude, it's the Home Run Derby.
The favorites never win though.
I'm not.
Last year it won because it was Judge.
I'm not betting on the favorite because that's not my style.
If Judge was in it, I would bet all my money on Judge, but he's not.
Same.
Bregman's plus 700.
That's what, dude. Take that.
That's crazy.
Take that bet.
Freddie Freeman.
Put it in the pocket.
Here's my bet. I already know. Freddie Freeman's plus 550. I'm gonna put money on.
Hey,
it.
So I'm getting 20-1 on Bregman and Freddie Freeman just being in the finals.
And then
That's crazy.
Reese Hoskins plus 650.
Yeah, that's my guy.
I don't
right
like it.
there.
Max
Oh,
Muncy plus 500.
Ooh.
Kyle Schwarber plus 300. Aguilar plus 300. Javi Baez plus 400. How is Javi Baez plus 400? Why is he not like plus 800?
He's got pop.
He's got lots of pop.
This is the home run derby. They all have pop.
I think Hoskins
Hoskins.
is going to be the biggest flop of the derby.
You think so?
You know who they need to have in this derby?
Ichiro.
Otani.
Otani.
Dude. That would be... I'd be better. He rakes, dude.
We need
he
some Japanese flavor
rakes.
in this home run derby.
All right, so that's the All-Star games.
I'm
We're
gonna a quick Pointless Sports Opinions does not promote gambling.
we are not responsible for any losses in gambling. We do take 10%, though.
We don't promote it, but we do it a lot.
10%. Who do you got winning? Let's go winners. Who you got?
Either Harper or Hoskins.
Well, you give me one. That's two winners.
Give you one.
Yeah, I can name all 8. I think
give
one
you-
of the 8 are going to win. Give me one winner.
I think
Who
of the
is
eight's
winning?
gonna win. Reese
Who's
Hopkins.
winning the home? Reese Hopkins. Heard it here first. Nick and Joe show.
Hoskins.
Hoskins. I don't give a damn. Nick picked the winner. I got. Give me my boy Freddie Freeman over Alex Bergman.
Plus 550, dude.
I'm $200 richer.
Plus 550.
Let's swing it over to the 5 questions. What is it we calling it?
Slugfest.
Batting slugfest.
Not batting practice.
Nick,
Batting slugfest.
Batting slugfest.
Slugfest. We'll go with that.
All right, once again, Caleb.
What's up, Chase? How you doing?
I'm
Chase
doing
Manning.
good. I'm
I
doing
like
good.
that bro tank.
Hey, thanks. It's American flag. They're about to see it here soon. Caleb was busy last night, so I made the list
Can you
again.
sing? Do you know the national anthem by heart?
I've sang it a couple
You
times.
know the Russian
Busted.
national anthem.
I do.
You guys know that very well.
It's fabulous.
All right.
Let's get
All
it.
right. First question. St. Louis Cardinals are currently in the middle of a horrible contract situation with Dexter Fowler. Off the top of your guys' head, what contracts come to mind when you think of the worst contracts in all of sports?
Chris Davis had a really, really bad one.
It's so.
It could be any sport either. Like
Who's that guy? The dude from the Lakers.
Mozgov, Timothy.
No, Caleb.
Luau Deng.
Luau Dang. He's getting paid.
He's getting paid. Gagne. Eric Gagne back in the day. He got a fat contract. Dude, nobody knows who Gagne
I
is.
know, dude. He had like 55 consecutive saves in a row. I know who the guy is.
Yeah, the dude on PEDs that
Mike
once he got off
Hampton had a
PEDs.
really, really
I
bad
got one
contract
for
with the
you.
Braves.
I got one. Joe Flacco.
Ooh, hey, look at that.
Not
The
great.
Flacco.
Is Joe, what is it? Is Joe legit? Is he?
Elite.
Is he elite?
No.
No.
No. He's
No.
not.
No.
All right. Number 2. Justin Verlander and Clayton Kershaw are walking legends from a pitching standpoint in today's game. As we know, Justin and Clayton are some of the few pitchers to win the MVP award.
Oh God.
Give me the last AL pitcher to win the MVP award and the last NL pitcher to win the MVP
I
award.
want to say 1968 was the last AL. He played for the Tigers. He won 30 games. Can't remember his name.
You're correct, but that's not the last one.
Oh.
But also in 1968, this was the first year that
Both
two pitchers
pitchers?
won.
Yeah.
That's the year.
So from the NL side,
That was Gibson then.
Bob Gibson, yep.
That was
That's the NL, but they're AL. There's somebody before that.
Verlander won one in 2012. We're saying before that.
Before.
Dennis Eckersley won
Dennis
one.
Eckersley, good
Nick's
job.
Nick's baseball.
Joe didn't even get a word.
Hey, who's before
I
Dennis
pointed at him,
Eckersley?
dude. I know Nick had it, dude.
Oh, man.
Come on, man. He's
I
a
would have
big one.
got
He's a big
Gibson,
name.
but I wouldn't have got the Eckersley one.
He was
There's no way.
before Eckersley. You got it. Come on.
Give me
Sandy
a sec.
Koufax.
He threw a bat at Mike Piazza.
Oh, Clemens.
Robert
won
Clemens.
one?
Yeah,
Roger
MVP?
Clemens.
he won MVP in
that.
'89.
With Boston, I guess. That must have
My
been
take is pitchers should not be able to win the MVP. Just my take.
Okay.
You got a Cy Young
Story
award.
for a different day.
Yeah, you want to hear me rant? I don't think they should. That's bullshit.
All right.
Hockey.
All right. In today's game, it's home run or a big fat K. Who is the top 5 list for most strikeouts in a season from a hitter? Give me him.
Who's
Adam
this?
Dunn's
Adam
on
Dunn.
there.
I was gonna
Adam
say.
Dunn's number 2. He had 222 in 2012.
Did someone break it last season?
Mark Reynolds is probably on there.
Joey Gallo.
Mark Reynolds is on there twice.
My boy Mark Reynolds. Shout him out.
Mark Reynolds is number 1 on the list. Chris Davis is on there, and then there's one more. This guy's kind of sneaky.
Joey Gallo.
He played for the Brewers, the Yankees.
This one's
Richie
hard.
Sexton.
No, this one's hard. This one's
He was
recent.
a 30 home run guy.
That's
but
recent.
I don't even think he's in the league anymore.
Brewers, and he played for the Yankees.
Played for the Yankees last season, I believe.
What position did he play? Chris
Uh,
Carter.
Yeah.
That's
There you
right.
go. That's it.
So since you guys were screaming during the whole thing,
Nick's got all the
5
Nick's-
on the list. was Reynolds, 211 in 2010. 4 was Chris Carter with 212 in 2013. Chris Davis racked in 219 in 2016.
What's Chris Davis?
The
White
one
Chris
for
Davis?
yeah,
White Chris Davis?
yeah. And then Adam Dunn, 222 in 2012, and then Mark Reynolds, 223 in 2009. Honorable mention: Aaron Judge is tied for 6th.
Oh,
He had 208 strikeouts last season.
he'll beat that in his career, definitely.
Where's
Oh,
Joey
easily.
Gallo at?
He'll get there
He
too. Don't worry.
wasn't. I didn't even see.
Come on,
him.
Joey. Step it up, man. Strike out more.
All
He doesn't
right,
play every day. That's probably why.
number 4. We're around lunchtime here, and we know you guys love to eat.
Craving
Yes,
a-
sir.
Obviously. Which restaurant is always a go-to when you're starving and need for something good?
Well, I don't know who eats lunch at 3:15.
I do. Luke wakes up at 2:30.
I
So
came in.
it's
He,
breakfast for him, isn't it?
I came in. He was chowing on 2 burgers. He reminded me of freaking Randy from freaking Trailer Park Boys.
That's not the question.
No, it's the answer though.
I'll go to Holties, get some chicken wings from Holties. That's always a good one.
Holties?
I like Panda.
Panda Express?
I had Panda today
All right.
at lunchtime, not at 3:15.
All right. Number 5, the last one. As you guys know, Chase recently joined the dark side, and I joined Tinder. I need to know what pickup line works for you guys every single time, so I can mac on some honeys.
Do you want to get pizza and bang? What? You don't like pizza?
Okay, that's horrible.
Man, I don't have one.
Remember, we're live too.
Yeah, I'm.
That's what I said. Bang. I could have used the other word.
Here, how's Joe? Hold this and never let go.
That was beautiful.
Yes.
Honestly, Nick, I'm gonna use that.
What are you telling her to hold though? It's through a chat. You can't just say
No,
hold.
I
it.
know it's through
It's,
Chad.
it's
but
not like the first date. Like
It's the
Forget
thought that
him.
matters.
I
Shut
don't
up,
think it
Jeff.
counts.
forget him.
All right, I'm
that's
done.
not a
I'm
pickup
done.
line. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Get
if
out
you know how
of
to
here.
talk to girls in real life, it would
It's
be.
true. I haven't had a date in like 7 years. The PSO Tinder account.
Yeah, that's it.
So we're gonna wrap it up with final thoughts. Nick, you want to take it away?
Yeah, dude. My final thought. Give it here in a second. I
You got it written down. Thought
So,
long.
World Series of Poker was this past weekend.
I did not watch.
The winner, what is his name? John Sin won $8.8 million. He played heads up with Tony Miles, who came in second place.
Played
won
199 hands.
Yeah, $5 million. They played 199 hands heads up.
That's
they played
awful.
for about 10 hours.
That's terrible.
Mano a mano, and John Sin came out on top. Good job, John Sin. Austin Miles playing for 10 hours. That's a hell of a game, dude. Couldn't
I
do
would
that.
play for 10 straight days for $8 million.
Yeah, so would I, at least.
My final thoughts. We were talking earlier about how we're degenerate gamblers. So I know me and Caleb put a bet out there on that. Who won the World Cup? Was it France?
France, the boys in blue.
I believe the boys in blues came home
Oh
for
yeah,
us.
baby. We cashed out
We
on that
cashed
one.
out. I bet on one.
The African France team. They won it all for us.
So I bet on France to win it. But, like I didn't bet on any side. I had no clue. I just heard someone say, "Yeah, France could win," and I was just
Shouts
like,
to John Mabry on our podcast said France was going to win.
that might have
multiple
been what it
times.
heard.
But you got France, Belgium, and Argentina.
Yeah, mark it in your calendar. It's going down.
That
Multiple
John
times.
Mabry. So I was just
The
on.
hitting coach for the Cardinals?
I was on my betting website. I just, I put $20 on France to win it. It was 7-1. And then we had a friend's thing, $10. Everyone threw it in, 16, and it just random picked out.
You had
I
it?
got France in that too.
Yeah,
So I
ridiculous.
was
Guess who
double
I-
dipping in the France pool.
Guess who I
and-
got in that? Japan.
Japan, I
I
had
got
Uruguay.
Japan.
Is Japan good at soccer?
No.
No.
What is Japan good at?
So shout out to France.
They're
Congratulations on the World Cup, and congratulations to my wallet for getting a little thicker. That's it. Spread the word.